Hi, I'm Kelsey Bailey, and I'm going to be demonstrating some techniques that we can use for people who have dysarthria. This is Laura McIntyre, and she's going to be helping me out today. Okay, so the first technique we're going to use is called hard glottal attack. And this is for people who have flaccid dysarthria, and it's going to help us with phonation. So a lot of times when people who have flaccid dysarthria, they don't have proper adduction of the vocal folds. So that means their vocal folds don't come together all the way. And a lot of times this leads to a breathy quality of voice, which kind of sounds like you're whispering. Okay. So this hard glottal attack is going to help us get you a better quality of voice. So I'm going to demonstrate it first, and then you can give it a try. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a deep breath, and then you're going to bear down, and then you're going to phonate and say ah. Okay. So bearing down, I don't know if you've ever heard of it before, but it's kind of when you tense all your muscles and you kind of push down throughout your whole body into the floor or the chair that you're sitting on. So it's going to sound like this. Ah. Okay, why don't you give it a shot? Ah. Very good. Okay, so the next one that we're going to do is called chunking utterances into syntactic units. And this is also used for flaccid dysarthria, and it's going to help us with our prosody. So prosody is kind of just the natural rhythm of our speech. So when we're speaking, our intonation or our pitch rises and falls in a natural way. And a lot of times in people who have flaccid dysarthria, our natural rhythm of speech is kind of thrown off and it kind of sounds a little weird. And a lot of times this can be because we don't have sufficient breath support. So what we're going to do for this technique is we're going to inhale in places during speech when it would be natural to pause a little bit, instead of just taking inhalations at weird random spots. So I'm going to show you what to do first, and then you can give it a try. Okay. So the sentence that I'm going to say is, I saw a movie, it was pretty good. And I'm going to inhale after the word movie, because that would be a natural spot where you would stop anyway in your speech. So it's going to sound like this. I saw a movie, it was pretty good. Why don't you give it a shot?
Okay. I saw a movie, it was pretty good.
Good job. Okay, so the third one that we're going to do is called speaking immediately upon exhalation. And this is for respiratory weakness, and it's for people who have flaccid dysarthria. So like I just mentioned, a lot of times people with flaccid dysarthria don't have proper breath support, and they have weakness in the respiratory area. And they oftentimes can't speak without having to take breaths every couple of seconds. And this, like I mentioned, throws off your prosody and just kind of makes your speech sound a little funny to the people you're talking to. So hopefully we're going to combat that by using this technique. And what we're going to do for this is we're going to place our hand on our stomach, and we're going to inhale and then exhale, and we're going to phonate or speak immediately on exhalation. So something that you can use to help you is that when you're exhaling, as soon as you feel your hands start to move on your stomach, that's when you should start to speak. So I'm going to show you first, and then you can give it a shot. Hi, my name is Kelsey. So I started exhaling as soon as I felt my hands start moving on my stomach. So why don't you give it a shot now?
Hi, my name is Laura.
Good, that was great. Okay, the fourth exercise that we're going to do is for spastic dysarthria, and it's to help with your articulation. A lot of times people with spastic dysarthria have a decreased range of motion, so that means the articulators in your mouth can't really move as well as they should. So what we're going to do is we're going to do some stretching exercises to help you with that. And this is going to be a little bit strange because it's going to involve grabbing onto your tongue. So I'm going to have you hold out your tongue. And I'm going to use this gauze pad here, and I'm going to grab the end of it, and I'm going to pull it out just a little bit, just so there's a little bit of tension. And I'm going to hold it like that for 10 seconds. And then we're going to do it to the right and then the left. Okay, so why don't you stick out your tongue now. Sorry. That's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now I'm going to go to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good job. Okay. So the last one is called visual feedback. And this is, again, for people who have spastic dysarthria. And it's going to help us with our resonance. Because a lot of times people with spastic dysarthria have a hypernasality quality to their speech, which means that there's too much air emitting from their nose when they're speaking. So what we're going to do is we're going to hold this smaller mirror up under our nose, and we're going to hold this bigger mirror in front of us so that you can see the smaller mirror.
Okay.
And we're going to say a sentence that doesn't have any nasal sounds in them.
Okay.
And so the mirror shouldn't fog up at all because there should be no sound or no air coming out of your nose.
Okay.
I like to play soccer. Okay, so I could clearly see the smaller mirror and it didn't fog up at all. Okay. So now why don't you give it a shot looking in the bigger mirror to check yourself out.
Okay. I like to play soccer.
Perfect. That was great. Okay. Okay, those are my 5 demonstration techniques for dysarthria. Thank you. Thanks, Laura.
Thanks.